Hey, everybody, welcome into today's episode of the Crypto Report. First of all, listen, it is Friday, July 1st. I don't know about you guys, but I am certainly ready for the holiday weekend. If you're here in the US, it's the 4th of July. It's coming up. Everybody, please, I encourage you to go out, have a great time with your friends, your family, maybe indulge in a few adult cocktails or two, watch some fireworks, and just try to enjoy what's going on in your life. I know for many of you, especially those in the crypto space, it's been a rough couple months. We're all getting crushed here. Um, but hey, I think ultimately, investing will pay off. Um, so, in this episode, we're going to talk about a few things. First, the U.S. economy as a whole. I'm going to go over a couple of stories, and I'll tell you this: it certainly seems like any crypto story today is a negative one. So, it's unfortunate, but we do have to cover it. And then I'm going to kind of get into what I am putting my money in currently and where I think the market is going to go. Um, and it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not even be 2 years from now, but I think it'll rebound. And I'll give you some of my tips as to what I'm doing. Remember, I am not an investment advisor. I'm just a person who likes crypto and tries to learn as much as I can. And oh, by the way, if you are watching this on the YouTube, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're on the podcast, please make a comment, put it in your listens. Anything like that will help me out. I like doing this. I love doing it. But, the more listeners, the better. All right. So here's the deal. Today marks the first official day of the Biden economy that is in recession. A recession is technically categorized as basically an economy that is, a GDP that is getting lower for multiple months in a row. Today, the Atlanta Fed GDP tracker shows that the U.S. economy is likely in a recession. This, for those on the podcast, is a story out of CNBC. Kind of points to what many of you already knew. The economy is taking a serious downturn. In this particular article from CNBC, which I will link in the notes, kind of describes it. It says the Atlanta Fed GDP now gauge sees the second quarter running at a negative 2.1, coupled with the first quarter's decline of 1.6%. That is the technical definition of a recession. So there we go. We are technically in a recession. It goes on and on about the sort of Federal Reserve tracker, economic growth, and all that sort of stuff. So certainly something to take into consideration. It says most of Wall Street economists have been pointing to an increased chance of negative growth ahead, but figured it wouldn't come until 2023. I don't believe that. I think that is most how do I put this? Most Wall Street economists who are on sort of the big news channels, and honestly, a lot of CEOs and things like that, they might have said that publicly, but the reality is we know we're in bad shape. And that is where we are. My opinion is if you just come on, Biden, if you just let the energy out in the country, everything would be fine. But for whatever reason, they're refusing to do that. I don't understand it. But that is that. We are officially, as of today, July 1st, 2022, technically in a recession. All right, that's story one. Story two, pretty bad story. Crypto giant Celsius spirals toward bankruptcy. I'm going to play a little bit of this video, but basically it's, I'll just go ahead and play it for you.
Crypto company Celsius made its name on being the modern alternative to a bank.
We bailed them out. They gave themselves record bonuses.
Customers tell CNBC that CEO Alex Mashinsky was a reason they put faith in the company. He was seen as more transparent than a Wall Street CEO, with weekly YouTube talks, often wearing a t-shirt that reads, "Banks are not your friends."
And by the way, I've seen enough of this guy on YouTube to know to know he's up to something.
They say that image was shattered when they heard from Celsius that their accounts would be frozen on June 12th. Celsius blaming extreme market conditions. One customer.
Well, that is true. We are certainly in extreme market conditions. No ifs, ands, or buts about that.
We spoke to, George Watson, says he lost a year's worth of rent.
Now we're all kind of left in the dark. We don't know what's going on. So, yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Alex Mendoza Pinon, a single dad and FEMA worker, says his investments were worth $100,000 at one point.
It's money that was really hard earned, and because we want to get to that point where we have a more financial stable.
All right, that's enough of that. First of all, it just sucks. I really do feel bad for the folks who have lost a ton of money, specifically in things like Celsius. I think hopefully they'll be able to declare a bankruptcy, maybe be able to give some money back to these folks. You just never know. Celsius is obviously taking your money and lending it out to other things, hedge funds and so on and so forth. So they don't just put money into crypto, but they were paying, I think it was like 18 or 19% back on anything that you got. So just sucks to see that, but that's kind of what's going on with Celsius right now. Another major story in the news, this is a big one. We've all been waiting on this for a long time. Essentially, the SEC came out and said, told Grayscale, who is a company that is trying to get a Bitcoin ETF into place. They basically said, no, we're not going to allow you to have a Bitcoin ETF. Goes on in here to explain, it basically says that, the information you provided us isn't reasonable. So now Grayscale has decided to sue the SEC over the Bitcoin ETF application rejection. And certainly I don't blame them. As a matter of fact, I personally would love to see some Bitcoin ETFs out there that would add institutional money to Bitcoin and would cause the price of Bitcoin to significantly enhance. In fact, when it happened in Australia, the price of Bitcoin did go up. So there are other countries allowing for things like this. I'm just going to play a little clip here about this so you guys can hear what they're saying on CoinDesk TV.
Has tweeted that Grayscale is suing the SEC, but so far Grayscale has only petitioned the U.S. Appeals Court for the District of Columbia to review the rejection. So is this the first step towards a lawsuit? And are there, I guess maybe you can clear up some of the confusion.
That's right. So this is the first step that starts off the lawsuit. Last night, we heard from the SEC that unfortunately our application to convert GBTC into a spot Bitcoin ETF was denied by a final order. That is what created a cause of action for us to file this petition for review, which is with the appellate court of the DC Circuit. So that is right.
The voice you're hearing there is of Craig Salm, I believe is how you say the name. He is the chief legal officer for Grayscale Investments. And I just got to say this, bravo, Craig. Keep it up, man. The more options you can get to consumers, the better. All right, so that's kind of the two big news stories of the day. Actually, three, with the announcement that the U.S. is officially in a recession. So let's go over. This is going to be a short episode because, quite frankly, it's a holiday weekend, and I, like many of you, are hoping to get back into holiday mode. So let's go to Coinmarketcap. Actually, Bitcoin has had a pretty decent day today. It's up 2.6%. And, as Bitcoin goes up, so does really all the other coins. They're all falling. The only ones that aren't up look to be just sort of the stable coins. But most of the other ones are up. I'm trying to go down here and see if there's anything crazy. I don't see anything crazy today. But I did promise you at the start of the video here, I would kind of tell you what I am putting my money in. And quite frankly, I'm putting my money in essentially Bitcoin and Ethereum. I actually believe that Bitcoin will go back up to, $40,000, $50,000 before the end of 2023. So a nice double on my money is not the worst thing in the world. I do think that has the potential to go down as low as 17,000. So yes, I would, have the potential to lose a little bit, but these coins are so massive that I just don't think they're going anywhere, and I think there is utility for them. So I think they're here to stay. BNB is another one that I would feel comfortable investing in right now. I think probably Binance is the sort of best run crypto company, crypto exchange there is. And it's massive, and it's not going anywhere either. I think as Bitcoin goes down, like I said, I think it has the ability to go down to 17,000. Probably it's going to be its low point. Other coins, meme coins like Dogecoin, some of these smaller ones, Shiba, those things are going to go down. I mean, I really think they're going to go down more than they are. If you're looking for something in the future, one one subset of the market that I really do believe is going to not only bounce back when Bitcoin bounces back, but I think they're going to have real world application. Really, are these gaming coins? Any of these games, any of these coins? Like I'll tell you one that I really like. First, I like Sandbox, but one that puts out games all the time is Gala. Where's it at? It's in here somewhere, but I've started putting money in it with the realization that I think it's going to go down. But I think, when it comes back up, here it is, GALA at 0.05308 today. It's going to go up, I think. I really believe that, this is a company that puts out multiple games. And, if we're talking about digital currencies, what better way and what better place that things are going to get implemented in, or at least in the initial term, are games. So I think something like that is well worth looking at. I don't know if now is the time. I do think it's going to go down even more as Bitcoin goes down before it goes back up. But I think things like that are what you should be looking at. Things that may have a chance to 5x, 10x, 20x in 4 or 5 years. If you could get it now and you can wait, that's what I would do. Don't spend any money that you don't have. Be responsible on it. But those would be my picks. If I start to venture out more, I'll let you know. But really, the metaverse gaming coins, I even have a little bit of Meta, not a ton. But I really like Gala right now. I like GMT. Any of these types of things, probably going to be good future bets. D-Race, I had some D-Race, but it's crushed me. So I don't know if I could still suggest it. I think they're going to be good in the future. Anyways, that's the show today. Thanks so much for listening. Or if you're on the YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment, do all that sort of stuff. Have a great 4th of July holiday. Watch some fireworks. Drink some adult beverages. Appreciate your time, and we will talk to you next time. Take care.